during launch or the early stages of the climb to orbit. The first stage of the Soyuz booster has 4 liquid engines strapped to the side of the core vehicle. Each burns for about 1 minute 58 seconds before they're jettisoned. The core engine of the first stage also serves as the second stage. It continues to burn until the 4 minute 58 second mark into the flight. And the third stage has a single engine that will burn for about 4 minutes 2 seconds, shutting down just before the 9-minute mark of the flight. The Soyuz capsule itself is 23.5 feet long, weighs 15,800 pounds, and is comprised of 3 modules. The orbital module is at the top, where the crew has a small amount of room to move around during its 2-day flight to the station. At the bottom is the instrumentation and propulsion module, sandwiched in between the descent module, in which the crew resides for launch and landing. The crew uses the orbital module, sometimes known as the habitation module, during operations in orbit. It includes the docking mechanism, the hatch, and the rendezvous antennas. This portion of the Soyuz separates from the remaining compartments after the deorbit burn has been completed near the end of the spacecraft's mission. The descent module, or center section of the Soyuz, contains personally contoured couches for the crew members during launch, entry, and landing. This module contains all the controls and displays necessary for critical flight activities. It also contains life support provisions, batteries for re-entry and landing, and the parachutes and the soft landing rocket engines to slow the Soyuz just before its touchdown on the steppe of Kazakhstan. And the instrumentation and propulsion module houses the oxygen storage tanks, the attitude control thrusters, the avionics, and the communications and control equipment. The propulsion portion of this module handles all orbital maneuvers, including those needed for the rendezvous with the International Space Station and the deorbit burn at the end of the spacecraft's mission. The 2 solar arrays are folded against the body of the instrumentation and propulsion module, which separates from the descent module after the deorbit burn, just like the orbital module does. Those solar array wings span almost 35 feet. The entire capsule serves as a crew transport vehicle to and from the ISS and as an emergency return vehicle in the event the crew should have to leave the station unexpectedly. Just one other historic note as you again look at a live picture of the Soyuz TMA-19. The gantry arms have swung away from the vehicle. It now is buttressed up against 2 umbilicals that will swing away at about the 1-minute mark and about the 30-second mark, respectively, that will continue to pressurize the onboard tanks and the stages of the Soyuz until just shortly before liftoff. Once Shannon Walker arrives on the International Space Station on Thursday, she'll be greeted, among others, by Tracy Caldwell Dyson, marking the first time in history that 2 women will have served together as long-duration crew members on board the International Space Station. And, parenthetically, the early morning hours of June 16th, Kazakhstan time, that we're looking live at this picture of the Soyuz TMA-19, is the 47th anniversary of the launching of the first woman to fly in space, Valentina Tereshkova. About 30 minutes ago, an onboard timing device that controls the